Hey y'all, I'm Dani, and this is Heard. Think that out. That's a hard R. I'm not trying to. This goes on YouTube. Remember that. Don't. Anywho, hi guys. Welcome back to Heard the podcast. I am your host, Dani. I am accompanied by my engineer in the background, per usual, JRob. Say hi, JRob.
What's good, y'all? What's good?
And we're back for another episode. And I'm grateful to be back for another episode, but we're going to get into some things, okay, in the best way I can. It's been a very stressful and, week. I wouldn't say stressful week, because, I work at 9 to 5, so my week was actually pretty cool. But when it comes to the land of social media and the shade room and the neighborhood talk and stuff, it's been an agitating week, I would say. Let's just say that. Agitating week. Would you agree with that, JRob?
Nah, I don't let social media get to me, so I don't know.
No, but I'm just saying, in principle wise, it's added, this, we'll get into some things. But first, I want to make sure you guys are subscribed to our YouTube channel, HER''D, the podcast. Go ahead and subscribe. I have some cool content on there. Go ahead and like some videos, share some videos, comment, all those good things. I'm heavy on the, of course, clips are important nowadays.
For
so
sure.
I'm heavy on the shorts. So please expect a bunch of shorts per week. That's on there. We have a TikTok as well, Heard Pod, HERDPOD. We have a bunch of fun things on there, a bunch of clips on there. Of course, we're available on all podcast streaming platforms. You can go there of your choice: Spotify, Apple, iHeart, any place, Google Play. We are there.
For sure.
So make sure you guys tap into that. And thank you guys so much for the engagement. We're growing. I've been doing this, here and there. And, I've had to pivot a few times, but, I still enjoy this. So I'm going to keep going. Everyone has their own journey, but I have enjoyed the engagement so far. And just keep tapping in every comment. I love every comment, good or bad. It's helpful to me. Every like is helpful. Every repost on TikTok and stuff, that's helpful. Every time you guys share a YouTube video, every time you guys comment on a YouTube video, that's very helpful. Every time you guys subscribe because you saw something that you liked on my page, that's amazing too. Thank you so much for that. I'm just going to keep on going.
For sure.
Anywho, all right, so let's just jump into the Heard on the Curb. Heard on the Curb is a segment about pop culture topics. I call it Heard on the Curb, so yeah. So we're going to get into some things. It's a hefty thing. So the theme of this episode is basically just respecting women, goddammit. Just respecting women in the role of women and just respecting one another. You know what I mean? Keeping hands and feet to yourself.
Yes.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to mention a couple things. I'm not going to take too long. I want to get into the meat of the show, but I am going to mention, yes, Diddy is on trial right now for sex trafficking and racketeering. Throughout the week, Cassie was on the stand. She recalled a lot of different events that happened behind the scenes that we never even knew of. All the freak-offs, all the drugs, the drug usage, the drug abuse, the physical abuse, all that stuff. So we got detail, and that was juicy. We got detail on that. It was revealed that that she settled $20 million with Diddy. Remember, initially it was she was suing Diddy for $30 million, and then it was settled within 24 hours at an undisclosed amount. Come to find out, she revealed that it was $20 million in 24 hours that she got from Diddy, and I've been watching different. I basically go to YouTube University. So YouTube bloggers and YouTube commentators, that's my Fox 5, that's my CNN, that's my ESPN. Right. I have a handful of people that I go to that are credible, and that are credible, or I just trust them because they're good at what they do. Because it's not always about the bells and whistles, because I feel like I've been watching a couple of YouTubers cover the Diddy trial, because they've actually flew to New York to go to in court, and they've witnessed the trial. So they're giving play-by-play of their notes and about how Cassie's face was like this, and Cassie's husband's face was turned red, and Diddy did this, and Diddy's sons, they were back in the seats doing it, so I'm following that. So that's my Fox 5, that's my ESPN, that's my CNN. I feel like people that aren't on huge platforms, like people that aren't on networks and stuff, the people that I see on YouTube, they're really talented. I feel like some people do better than the people that are on the networks.
That's a fact.
it's really like, I'm like, wow, you're covering this way better than someone on a huge network right now.
Yeah.
And I love how, I love good storytellers. Mm-hmm. Especially when you're giving a rundown of what's going on in a high profile case in court. Right. You want to listen to someone that is colorful with their commentary and colorful with expressing the narrative and expressing how the story went and expressing what happened when we weren't there.
Right.
So it was revealed that Cassie Diddy settled $20 million with Cassie, and so I believe one of the things that was said in court, I think when the defense Diddy was cross-examining Cassie, I think it was defense. I'm not sure if it was defense or people on Cassie's side, but they were saying like, oh, how much did you settle for? And she was like $20 million in 24 hours, and why didn't they were asking like, why did you sue him for that much money? Like why did you sue him for $30 million? And she was just like, no reason. I wanted to give I picked the number and I went with it. I wanted a number that would get his attention. I wanted a number that he could see me, that would make him see me. Mm-hmm. So they settled for $20 million in 24 hours, and they were asking like, oh, why did you want to sue him? Why did you want to settle? Why did you want this, whatever? And she was saying, I wanted to be paid. She was like, I wanted to be paid straight up. She was like, I wanted to be paid for my time, and I wanted to be paid for my pain. And but they were going through all that stuff. So like, of course, throughout the week they were day by day they were Cassie was on the stand. So one day it looked good on Cassie's end, the next day it looked bad on Diddy's end. It looked bad on Cassie's end. It looked good on Diddy's end. Just how with ping pong, how court is. Especially with rich folk, they getting the best motherfuckers is gonna be up there showing their ass. Right. Okay. I always I don't know why I always think of like, back in the day, like when sitcoms were like good. Every black sitcom always had like a court episode.
You're right.
Like Martin.
Yeah, you're right.
Martin had a goofy ass court episode. Yeah. Remember Kenan Nickel when he was like, I dropped the screw in the tuna. Remember that?
I remember that.
I dropped the screw in the tuna. Every black sitcom had a court episode.
Court episode and a wedding episode.
And a wedding episode, yeah.
Court though for sure.
Yeah.
Wedding
every
for sure, yeah.
Huh?
Nah, wedding for sure.
But everyone had a court episode, a Christmas episode, a Thanksgiving episode.
Yeah.
I don't know if the black sitcoms had a Halloween joint like that. Did they?
They did.
When Martin said that they stole his CD player, was that a Halloween episode or nah? When they was wearing all black, was that a Halloween episode? No, it was just a little spooky. This little spooky shit. But no, they had a Halloween when Gina was Tina Turner and he was Ike.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hey, so, yo, she
so
did like two episodes.
Yeah. But it's like he a fool. Like every Fresh Prince had a court episode when him and Carlton walked in. Like everybody had a court episode.
It's a blueprint.
It's a formula,
it's a blueprint for sure. It's a blueprint for sure.
Yes. So that So yeah, they talked about all of that with Diddy and Cassie and like a lot of tea that we didn't know, and it was a lot. Like 1 minute she getting her ass beat, the next day they at the Met Gala carpet. Like what I'm saying, you just never seriously. Like it was giving that. Yeah. It was every time she wore a swoop bang, she was hiding a bruise and all kind of stuff.
That's crazy.
She was getting high and she had drug addictions and all that stuff. It's a lot going on because they're trying to get, because Diddy is facing life.
Right. That's crazy.
And then I think yesterday they had Don Richard come on the stand from Danity Kane and Dirty Money.
Right.
And they were like Diddy's team, like they were sick and tired. They're like, oh hell no, like we don't want her on the stand because it's irrelevant. Like they felt like having her on the stand was irrelevant because she was recalling the times where she witnessed him abusing Cassie, and his defense was just like, why is she up here? Because Cassie didn't even bring up this time that she's talking about, like it's whatever. So it was a whole big thing with that. But yeah, that's what's going on right now with the Diddy trial. Real quick, they said that they stabbed Tory Lanez 14 times in jail, in prison or whatever, and he's like recovering miraculously. And then now all of a sudden, I guess the bodyguard popped up and said that, oh, I overheard Kelsey say that she shot Megan. Let's figure this out. So it's a whole big thing with that. So now it's a situation with that. So moving along, we're not gonna do that. And then.
Facts. Shit is crazy. Shit is crazy out here, man.
Yes. So then, real quick, Chris Brown just got arrested in Manchester from a 2023. I guess he went upside somebody's head in a London club, and back in 2023. And of course he's on tour now. And they packed his ass up at a London hotel. Was like, hey, yeah, we got a warrant or whatever the fuck because you went upside somebody's head with a tequila bottle back in 2023. We got you. So now he's in jail until like he has like a court hearing in June. So he ain't gonna get out till June or some shit or like whatever. They denied him bail. So there's that. This is a super sidebar. I wish you can't be going upside nobody's head with a tequila bottle, Christopher. But hopefully everything works out because I did buy a Chris Brown ticket for the DC dates in August. So hopefully everything works out because I did buy a Chris Brown ticket for the Chris Brown concert.
You worry about your goddamn show. Worry about his freedom. Dang, what is going on?
You shouldn't go outside niggas' heads in London clubs with goddamn tequila bottles, bruv.
Hey, my man. You mad, man.
Bruv? You can't be doing that, bruv. The fuck? I would hate to get arrested in another country. I would hate
Yeah, no, that's not good.
I would hate
That's not good. That's not good.
I would hate that. Because do we have any gang ties out in London?
I'm sure he does.
Oh, he do?
I'm sure.
Oh, they do? They be having like little international...
yeah, they got gang.
Oh, and out in London and shit?
Yeah. You know that? What? It's a hoods and gang. It's all that in London.
But they got connections out. They got some London bruvs?
I'm sure.
Across the London Bridge?
I'm sure.
Wow.
I'm sure.
That's crazy. Y'all ghetto out in London.
It's hoods everywhere. So.
Yeah, it's hoods everywhere. But what I'm saying is his American ass, he got connections out in London town?
He's a worldwide.
Okay. How come every time you come around my London Bridge wanna go down like London? Come on, put the mic up. We can't hear you. London. Go ahead. How come every time you come around my London Bridge wanna go down like London? We going down like London. We going down.
Yeah. What the hell?
Oh, Lord of mercy. Lord of mercy. Come on.
Yo.
Okay, okay.
Oh man.
Anywho. Okay, bet. I just wanted to make sure I was up to date with the headlines. Halle Bailey is so pretty.
For sure.
And Chloe. Anywho, so on to the news. On to the meat of the program. Yes. So it's been, like I said, it's been a roller coaster of a week. Niggas been getting stabbed up. Niggas been getting clanked up. Niggas been getting restraining order. Niggas been getting down this week. So Halle Bailey and Diddy G. Okay. So, all right. Because I have to perform. Don't you know when you have a bunch of feelings and thoughts and you have to take a deep breath and just organize them? Because yes. I want to make sure that I'm delivering a colorful commentary to my audience.
Yes.
Okay? So, yes. So this week, Halle Bailey, shit. Is it Halle? Chloe and Halle. Halle Bailey. Halle Bailey was granted a restraining order against her child's father, Diddy G. She filed a police report this week, detailing, past physical altercations between her and her child's father, Diddy G. And she has a whole police report where she details things, guys. You guys, if you really care, you will go and Google it and you will read it for yourself instead of just commenting and being mad for no reason because Diddy G's your favorite streamer. Okay, this is real life. These are two parents and there's a baby involved. Okay. But in her, in Halle's detailed police report, she spoke about how, they would get into it. Her and Diddy G would get into it physically. At one point, he hit her head against a steering wheel and chipped her tooth. She showed bruises on her arm. She detailed vulgar language between one another. She detailed a moment where she wanted to buckle up her son in the backseat of his car, and they got into it verbally, and he was angry, and she didn't feel comfortable leaving the baby with him, so she hopped in the car and drove with him to his mother's house, where she says that she explained to his mother what happened, and how she didn't feel safe with the baby around him when he was angry like that, and he called her the B word here and there, and like all these things, like a lot of like hostile situations. And she explained that one of the arguments erupted when she tried to talk about a schedule, like a custody schedule. She didn't want it to be where he just pops up when he wants him, or she can't get him at the time that she wants to get him. She was trying to like see, like, can we come up with a schedule for our baby son? He's like barely 1 year old, right? So that kind of erupted, and I'm kind of annoyed, guys. I don't know these people, but I'm annoyed for a few reasons. But the first reason I'm annoyed because I sat here literally 2 or 3 episodes ago, and I sat here and I said, put some respect on DDG name. Crazy. And look at this shit now, and look at this goddamn shit now, because the whole reason I did that, the whole reason I went on that rant of like put respect on DDG's name a few episodes ago was because I wasn't, I'm grown. And I love entertainment. I think it's entertaining, and I was focused on the entertainer. Mm-hmm. I wasn't focused on too much of the personal shit. Mm-hmm. Even the shit that I think that he does that's corny, I wasn't really too focused on that. I was mostly focused on, okay, this is a young black man. He's making an honest living. He's successful, and he looks like he enjoys what he does. That was my only thing. And I'm tapped into a lot of these streamers. I've subscribed to a few streamers. Like I'm really in support of this, because again, these are young black people that are making an honest living. They're not harming anyone. So I assume they're not. Supposedly they're not harming anyone. They're not robbing anyone. They're not scamming anyone. They're not doing. They're just of course, like some streamers do ridiculous things on stream, whatever. But I'm talking about the ones that whatever, right? So that was my main thing. So like when this shit popped up, I'm like, damn, I was just talking about this nigga on that. And I got a cute, and I put it on TikTok, and I got a cute little amount of views on there. I'm like, what the fuck? God damn it! I just was talking good about you. What the fuck? But anyway, yeah. So the detail of the police report was crazy. I'm like, oh wow, like what the hell? And I'm gonna go into some things real quick. But this is what I want to say about this. I know a lot of single mothers. My sister's a single mother. I have friends that are single mothers. I have relatives that are single mothers. Like and I know that when it comes to a mother, a lot of times and this is the truth, like the mother, in most cases the mother is the main parent, especially when they're not together. You know what I mean? That they're going to be the main parent a lot of times. There's some cases where they're not, but a lot of times the mother is the main parent, because that's the mother, just nature wise, nurturing wise. It's the mother, especially when the child is very, very young, boy or girl. Like their child is 1. Their child just turned 1. He's still a toddler, right? Yeah, that's still a toddler age. You know what I'm saying? So like, of course, like it's very important for her I understand why she would want to, like, that's a baby. She wants to know a schedule. Like I'm sure, I don't know if she still breastfeeds or whatever. This is a baby, right? And she's the mother. Right. So yes, I need to discuss a schedule. We're not together. We don't live together. We're not together. We need a schedule.
For sure.
And I guess, she explained that, he just gets agitated. He doesn't want to talk about that. Like, he wants to get him when he wants to get him type shit or whatever. I don't know if it's a combination of, they're not together anymore. Maybe he doesn't want to be apart, or I don't know, because again, they were together for a couple years before she got pregnant. So it's like, I'm sure there's feelings still there, here and there, whatever. Right. And, but when it comes to the DV of it, the domestic violence of it, like, I don't think, there's always 2 sides to a story, and both parties can play a part in situations, right? That's fine. I'm not saying that Halle probably didn't swing on him or whatever. I'm not saying that he didn't swing on her, and he could have. I'm not saying that he could have not done something, or could have done. I'm not saying any of that. Mm-hmm. What I'm saying is, it's not our business, for one, and for two, it's a child involved. So this is a very fragile situation because there is a young baby involved. And what I'm gonna say with this, I'm not fixated on who hits who in the situation. I'm more fixated on at least Halle, even though she may be toxic or may not be toxic, whatever. Again, we don't know these folks. At least it's showing that she is taking the initiative to try to maintain an order in the co-parenting process with their young baby.
Right. Which is important.
Which is the most important, which is the only important thing. Right? There were rumors about her, I guess, dating Brent Faiyaz, my bad. Brent Faiyaz. She was on vacation on Mother's Day with this past Mother's Day with her sister and I guess another relative with the baby. And I guess they were overseas somewhere at an island somewhere. And then there was a picture of Brent Faiyaz at an island as well. And I guess, people put two and two together and, bloggers say, oh, is he with Halle and the baby? Like, what's going on? Like, so it's like that was a whole spectacle with that. And I guess, in the items that, Halle presented to the judge, presented to courts, she showed screenshots of DDG, sending her links to the gossip blogs where it says that her and Brent are together on vacation. And she's like, no, we're not. I would never do that. I have Halo with me. I would never do that. Whatever, trying to diffuse it, and he's saying like, bet when it's my turn to get him, I'm gonna be on that same kind of time, whatever. It was a hostile thing with that, and she, in the report, she detailed, that they broke up. I think they broke up back in October of last year, or I guess I don't know if they broke up in October of last year, or that's when a lot of the physical stuff started in October. She detailed physical things in October and in January, right? She detailed that, and then she also brought up the Brent Faiyaz situation on the text or whatever, right? So I'm going to go into the bullshit that I've been seeing in regards to the situation, but I will say this is what I think. So what if she detailed things that happened in January and she's filing in May? So, and to me, I feel like, a couple things. This is the father of her child. Maybe I feel like, of course she's apprehensive to just go straight to the police or straight to the whatever to do this. Like, sometimes you want things to work out. You don't want to go through all of that shit. And look at what's going on now that you see that she did it. You know what I'm saying? Then the second thing, I think the Brent Faiyaz text messages kind of set it off for her. That was like the last straw. In my opinion, I think that was the last straw for her. Because it's just like, nigga, like, come on, like you going off about Brent Faiyaz, and now is giving. You're going to be spiteful with my son moving forward. I don't have time for this. I'm about to file some paperwork real quick. I'm about to make some adjustments because none of the single mothers that I know want to go through the court process.
Nobody.
No one wants to, even though it's easy to say, oh, bitter baby mother. No one that I know wants to go through that shit. No one wants to go through that shit. Like no one wants to put their child's father on paperwork to make sure they give them money every month. No one wants to go through that shit.
Nah. Strenuous.
Like I've seen things firsthand with my sister and her child's father, my niece's father, going through some court stuff. And she didn't want to go through all that, but she had to because he did something unpredictable that was disruptive to her parenting. It was compromising her child's well-being, compromising her child's structure, and compromising the structure that she set as a mother and being the primary parent of their daughter. It was disruptive and it was it was very unpredictable, and it was very detrimental what he did. That's what drove her to going to court and figuring. So they don't want to do this, but when you do shit like this, we already boxing already in front of the bed. You already called me all types of B words, and I'm doing things to you too. You grabbed me up, you chipped my fucking tooth, and now you talk about some damn Brent Faiyaz on Mother's Day, and you want to bring up give me my son. Like you want to bring up our son in midst of as if you're going to be spiteful with him. No. I'm calling the police. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on. Anyway, so there's a few things that happened that bothered me when this news broke. Again, Halle provided, she has Ring camera footage of situations. She detailed situations. She has screenshots. She has pictures. She has all these things that granted her a temporary restraining order that prevents DDG and his family of speaking on her publicly on stream, because DDG does speak about Halle publicly on stream, and he does kind of plant seeds to his viewers, his young idiotic viewers, Not all of them. Some of the ones that are idiots, you know, those ones. Like he does paint a picture with them where it's like, oh, I just want to, you know, there's been times where I've ignored because I was too busy of like being proud of what he was, like, you know, whatever. That he would just say things like, oh, you know, I just want to see my son and I can't see my son when I want to and blah blah blah. There's just complaining about things and, you know, planting seeds and like implying things about Halle, and you know that caused people to harass Halle online and get, you know, she was receiving death threats and all these kinds of things. And you know, and that's one of the things that she kind of petitioned for in her suit. She's like, you know, I want him to prevent him from speaking on me because he puts his fans, he sends his fans in a frenzy. I receive death threats, this and that, right? So DDG cannot speak on her, and none of his family can really speak on her for real. Right. So his streamer friends are speaking on her in the situation. So he was on Adin Ross's live stream a couple days ago, you know, when the news broke. And he was, I think it was, it was a few days ago. This all happened this week. So he was on Adin Ross's live, or he was doing like a stream with Adin Ross or whatever when the news hit TMZ. Now, I don't know if, I low-key feel like he already knew about the restraining order. I think that he was shocked that it was on TMZ. Because there's no way that you didn't know that you had a restraining order before you got on live like this. No, absolutely not. You were shocked and you were trying to save face because it was on TMZ and you were on live. It was a lot. So of course his fucking streamer friends are like, no, fuck that. This is bullshit. This is bogus. He's a great dad. He's a great dad. But it's not about him being a dad. It's about him being a good co-parent. It's not about him. It's about the baby. Yeah. It's all about the baby. Yeah. Period. And then on top of that, just because you like his Twitch channel doesn't mean you know what the fuck goes on in his motherfucking bedroom. He didn't put a baby in you. You don't know what goes on in his in behind closed doors. Why are you just because you see him with his baby online and the baby's cute and he holding the baby doesn't mean that you know what goes on behind closed doors. And once again, he did not put the baby in you. You are not the child's mother. You aren't the child's father. You are not this child's parent. It's, you know, this is not you. You don't know these. You don't know what he does behind closed doors. No, you don't. But of course, Adin Ross's ass, you know, gave his 2 cents, his bullshit 2 cents. I was annoyed. I was actually annoyed with Deshae Frost, because Deshae Frost was actually a streamer that I enjoyed and I would, you know, support and subscribe to a couple times. I actually subscribed to his channel a couple of times, and I remember when he did a streamathon. Mm-hmm. He did a streamathon around Christmas time called the Frostathon, and he did it right after Cenat's streamathon, the big dog streamathon. Right. And you know, of course, like he did it right after Cenat, so of course people came and was like, oh, you're copying, you just want to do this, right? I remember saying something in the comments of the Shade Room Teens page. I remember writing I remember writing something in the comments that was very encouraging and very, you know, uplifting and stuff. So and people liked it or whatever. And I tuned in because he had Orlando Brown on the first day, and that was crazy. And you know, of course, but I tuned in and I supported. I subscribed all these things because it's like, you know, he has a sister, he has a brother, he has a mom, he has a little sister, like he has a family. Family, right? But that's why one of the reasons why I wanted to, you know, whatever. And you know, I would see him on Cenat stream, and I would see that he was. I would see his determination to becoming the best entertainer that he could become. Right? So cool, right? This motherfucker went on his stream once again, spoke on, he was another person that spoke on the situation, was like, oh, basically calling Halle a liar, basically discrediting her, and basically saying like, oh, you know, he's a great dad, fuck that shit, he's a great dad, blah 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 blah, making light of the, like, you know, he was using their situation as content for him on his stream. And he even made a joke about Rock Nation coming to get him, and like, oh no, is Rock Nation coming to get me now after I kind of went on Halle, like, you know, whatever. I'm just like, what in the world? First of all, Halle isn't even signed to Rock Nation, she's signed to Parkwood, that's Beyonce's, like, but I get it, I get the joke, right. But it's just like, come on. And you know, and like, he would be like, you know, DDG's a great dad, that's like my brother, he's all these things. And I'm gonna play a little bit of it, actually. I'm gonna play a little bit of it real quick. Oops.
People saying, oh, Femi not speaking on it, whatever, because it's true. Man, that's not fucking true, bro. If that's why is she coming out right now with all this? If that's January, why she ain't doing it in January? Why you gotta wait 6 months? 6 months and all this other. Like, why are you taking that route? You can't prove that this is not a father, or you can't prove that he's not trying to co-parent or do anything. So you gotta pull this card. It's just weird, bro. And I don't like seeing my brother down or any of that type. So I'm always speaking. I know Jay-Z gonna be on my after this, and Beyonce, but I don't give a bro. If the CIA on my door, then they come knocking on my door. It is what it is, bro. I'm DDG squad, bro. Real hell nah. Hell nah. I'm not gonna let no people think my dog an abuser or something, bro. Is not no.
So I went through the, but of course, you know, he was saying like, oh no, like calling Halle a liar, saying like, oh, you have no proof of this. There's literally, you can literally Google the whole police report. She has screenshots. She has ring camera footage. She's detailing situations of abuse, of assault, of these things. Mm-hmm. She's detailing this. She's detailing messages where DDG is like threatening to, like, you know, one of the reasons why she got the restraining order, she's like, she doesn't want him, like, you know, she doesn't want her baby to be abducted by DDG. Like, don't she said that, you know, there were times where like he refused to give him back. You know what I'm saying? Like there's detailing all these things. So this is my whole thing, right? You trying to sit here and call him your brother? He's your brother, quote unquote. This is my thing. If someone is really, if someone is really your friend, they would have respect for you. And if they had respect for you, real respect for you, they would respect your child's mother and your child. Even if you don't fuck with Halle, if you respect DDG, you respect and love his son. Right. And out of that respect and love for DDG and his son, you would not be speaking on his son's mother the way you're speaking on his son's mother. Period. Calling her a liar and then saying like, oh, if it happened in January, why are you doing it in 6 months? First of all, May is February, March, April, May. That's 4 months. That's 4 months apart, not 6 months. Second of all, so she didn't want to file, but he kept exhibiting behavior where it's like, no, I'm putting my foot down. I want some structure. Right. Let me file some paperwork on your ass because you playing too fucking much.
Got set them boundaries, man.
Like, this made me withdraw my support from Deshae Frost, because it's just like, nigga, like, because he keep doing dumb shit and then like you keep doing this, and it's just like, these streamers, they're not like, it's beneficial for all of them to be around each other. It's beneficial for them to be around DDG. It's beneficial for them to be around Cenat. It's beneficial for, like, you know, it's beneficial, right? So a lot of times ain't no real genuine feelings in that. It's some, you know, some brotherhoods can form, right. But this, I just feel like you don't have any real respect for DDG. You just like the benefit from being his friend and being around him. You like the optics of you being around DDG. That's exactly what it sounds like. This is what you're going to do. You're going to use his pain. You're going to use his unfortunate situation and make content out of it. In one of the clips, I ran through it a little bit. And at one point in his stream, he pretended like the Rock Nation was at his door doing shit. He had people like knock on his door, fake knock on his door, and like pretended like he gave he did like a little Rock Nation skit, acting like, oh, they're gonna get me, Jay-Z's gonna get me, like all these things, right? And it's just like, you have no respect for his son. You have no respect for him. You have no respect for fucking women. Right. Even like, how would you feel if he has 2 younger sisters and a mother? Like, it's just like, what on earth? What on earth? They like the benefit from being around him. So they're gonna do this fake outrage, this fake shit and make it content.
Exactly. What it
and of course, I feel like DDG dumbass. I feel like he gave him the goal to do this, and that's even more fucked up because you're an idiot.
Probably, for sure.
Because this is what Halle detailed in the report. Like, you put your fans in a frenzy. You put people in a frenzy. You gaslight people into harassing me. This is harassment. I wouldn't be surprised if she gave him a cease and desist, because that's disgusting.
No, for sure.
You don't care about, it's not even about her. It's about the child. You don't care about the child. Why would, like, you wouldn't care about, like, what if his child's gonna get older? He's gonna see this. You don't care about talking about his son's mother like that. Like, I can't stand my friend. Like, there's tons of things I can say about my sister's child's, my niece and nephew's fathers, my friends' baby fathers, but I would never say it on here, on in front of a camera. I would talk shit about their baby daddy to them, right? And that's it. No one else, right. And not on camera. And I wouldn't make a skit about it. And if I did want to talk about something, and if I did want to speak about something personal, I ask permission. Like I did, and I called them on here.
Yeah.
That's disgusting. You're not a real fucking friend. You're a leech.
Shit is crazy, man.
And real quick on is it just like you have sisters and a mother? Like, how would you feel if someone called your sister or your mother a fucking liar because the person that did it is someone's favorite streamer or someone's favorite athlete or something? How would you fucking feel? Excuse me? See, now I don't, because of course DDG's brother and his sister had some words as well, and I believe a close friend of his had some words as well. And I'm gonna play one of them, but I understand when it comes to the family stuff. I get it, even though who could be wrong, whatever. It doesn't matter who. I get the family speaking out, because that's family. I get the childhood friend speaking. That's an actual friend from before that. I get it. That's fine. It can still be bullshit, but it's fine. I get it. But you making content out of this as his streamer friend is disgusting to me. It's gross to me. And you don't care about women. You don't care. And this is what sets you aside from someone like, I'll say it, like someone like Kai Cenat, because with Kai, he addressed it on his stream yesterday, I believe. And of course, him and DDG are really cool. They're really cool friends. And he actually ran into Halle at a Met Gala after party on stream. That was the first time they met in person, I believe. And even though DDG brought Halo on his stream, on his streamathon that he had back in November, he brought Halo on his stream without letting Halle know, and that was a big thing online as well. That was one of the only times Halle actually said something online about DDG. Usually she doesn't speak on the situation. DDG's the one that mostly speaks on this situation, not her, or whatever. But this is what Kai said on his stream.
I know things going on, but y'all gotta understand, bro. This is how I view it personally, bro. I cannot. There is two sides of a story that's going on right now, and I am in the middle to where I have to be able to just see things play out. It is none of my, you feel what I'm saying, chat? Like, honestly speaking, there's two sides to a story, and you got to be able to just respect both of them. All you can do is pray for both sides, honestly, and that's facts. Pray for DDG, pray for Halle. You feel what I'm saying? They're going through right now, but I want to go ahead and say DDG is a pioneer within what I do. I want to go ahead and make that clear, okay? He's a pioneer in what I do, and I respect him a lot. You feel what I'm saying? Like, what he got going on, bruh? I know there's a lot of crazy things going on, but
so he was just discussing, because he had, right now Kai Cenat is doing something called Streamer University, where he's like gathering people to do his own, like, he's doing that whole thing. And he selected DDG as to be he selected DDG to be one of the professors at the streaming university thing that he has going on. So he had to briefly speak on what was going on real quick. But that is a wonderful response. The thing is, like, he's actually really close with DDG. He only met Halle in person one time, I think. He don't even know Halle like that or whatever. But he still was very classy in his response. Like, I'm praying for both sides. It's a really hard time for both of them. I'm praying for both sides. That's all I'm gonna say. Not my business. I'm not gonna comment on what you can tell that Kai, he's at where he's at for a reason. His mind is right. He's not perfect, but his mind is right. And another thing too, you can tell that Kai really loves, honors, and respects his mother. You can tell that he loves, honors, respects his mother. You can tell that he loves, honors, and respects his sister. You can tell, because a man like that, a man that honors and respects his mother and his sister, that's the kind of response that he's going to give when it comes to his famous friend going through a situation with his child's mother. He's not gonna make no content and make Rock Nation jokes and call Halle a liar, call his brother's son's mother a liar to have content on street. That's disgusting. Excuse me? You have no respect for women at all. And it's not genuine. I feel like even though DDG probably gave him the go on the low because he can't do it, like, he should watch out for people like that, because that's not genuine. You want someone in your corner that's going to hold you accountable, whether right or wrong. It's going, like, whoever side, going to hold you accountable in private and not speak on it like that in public. They're going to give Kai Cenat's response, not Deshae's response, not Adin Ross's response. Because that's gross. I had to withdraw my support. Like, I was like, I'm still up on DDG. Because my whole thing is, like, when you do, even with the Diddy shit, like if you do wrong for so long, it's gonna catch up to you. Sure. Period. So, regardless of what's going on with him and Halle, regardless whether I'm a Halle fan or whatever fan, things will work out the way they need to work out. She filed. She got the court into it, and it's going to play out the way it needs to play out, and that's what that is. So I'm not really like it. It's annoying that it's him after I just complimented him 2 episodes ago. Yeah, but it's just like crazy. It's like whatever. It's going to play out the way it needs to play out, and that's just what that is. Right. But with Deshae and him, I'm not subscribing to him no more. I'm not doing that because you're gross. You're really corny, ill, disgusting. That's lame. And it's like he always has something going. Every other month is some shit that he some dumb shit that he do every other month. Like it's always some stupid shit with him. And what was I gonna say? Blah blah blah. Yeah. One of his homeboys, one of DDG's homeboys. His name is what's his name? His name is one of his friends, Baby Rich. He gave his 2 cents on the situation. You know, he claimed that, you know, he would witness Halle throw hands on DDG and stuff, and he claimed that, you know, that one time when Ruby Rose showed screenshots of DDG in her DMs, he basically said DDG did it out of spite because he found out that Halle was messing with Brent Faiyaz behind his back. So it was like the whole thing of he accused her of cheating with Brent Faiyaz again, and hopefully I hope that's a real thing now, because it's like, goddamn, Brent Faiyaz, girl, I hope he dicking you down real good, because he is, girl. Brent Faiyaz got these niggas in a chokehold, got these niggas drawers balled up. The fuck. But but yeah, so but I thought Baby Rich, I didn't look too much into him for real when I would see him on the stream with DDG, but I don't know why I assumed that he was one of his cousins or something. I don't know, but it seems like that's like one of his friends. Okay. So it seems like to me, I don't know, but I mean, whatever, he's saying what he's saying, and that's how he feels, and that's what he witnesses. That's cool. But what he's saying, it seems like, I'm not gonna play it because I don't feel like I'm playing too many audios, but I'm not gonna play it. But from what I saw, like, it seems like the response was still coming from a genuine, concerning place. It wasn't off I'm gonna use this for content like Deshae did. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I expect the family friend and the family to be like, oh my God, like to be on his side and whatever. They're coming from a place of love and a place of like real, like genuine, like, you know, right, attachment, not making content and shit and acting like Rock Nation at your door. You know what I'm saying? No. Oh man. Yes. So there is that. Soulja Boy got himself into it. He said he was gonna smack DDG because whatever. Anywho, yeah, that was the. But that's just my whole thing. Like that's what separates people in position. Like just like no, like, and it was one point with the whole streamer university thing. Even Kyle was like, he almost didn't, because he let Deshae be involved in that too, but he almost didn't let him do it because it's like, nigga, he was like, nigga, like, one thing I don't like about you is that, like, I sit and I give you real advice and you turn around and you do the opposite, like, every fucking time, nigga. Like, that's, he almost didn't have his ass on the thing, but he changed his mind or whatever. But it's just like, nigga, like, what the fuck? Like, but this is what separates him from, like, it's just like, I don't see like Kai and people that he be around doing the shit that DDG folks be doing. It's just like, no, what the fuck, no. Anyway, next. Next. Okay, real quick. Real quick.
Oh my God.
Cardi B and Stefon Diggs, right? There's a little bit of discourse around that. So it's no. So I don't know these niggas. Even though Stefon is from Montgomery County or whatever, I didn't know that nigga existed till like maybe 3 years ago, maybe, right? He must have did. I think because he threw a block party in DC, and I was like, oh, okay, whatever. And then he threw a block party in DC. It's called Black on the Block. He had like a Black on the Block thing he did in DC. This was like maybe 3 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago, I don't know. And I ran into Joey Chavez, Future's child's mother, Bow Wow's child's mother, you know, and I assumed that she was messing with Stefon, but she was actually messing with the brother or whatever. Anyway, took a picture of her and everything. I'm like, hey, I'll show you. But yeah, Yeah, so that's okay. That's when I started like, okay, who's that? He from what's the name? Oh, that's what's up, whatever. Right. So that's the only reason I know that nigga. Right. Usually it's either that or they dating somebody I know and like, oh, okay, right. DK Metcalf. Okay, cool. Okay, great. Okay. You know, I'm not gonna know anything other than that. Yep. Other than that, I'm not gonna know a thing. Football. So apparently Stefon is known to be a whore. He's known to sleep with rappers' baby mothers left and right. They brought up how he messed with Jada Wade at one point. They say he messed with Young Miami at one point. They said he messed with this rapper girl, whatever. So he's known to be a whore in the industry, right? So of course, him and Cardi B made it public when they went to the Knicks game and sat courtside a few days ago. They've been messing around for the last couple of months. But yeah, of course they popped out officially. They popped out officially at the Knicks game, courtside, whatever. They showed PDA. It was cute. It was whatever. And, you know, people had some things to say. They were saying like, you know, how can you go from one whore to the other? Cardi, what's going on? This and that. And Cardi had some words, but I'm gonna play a little audio because actually no, I'm not gonna play audio because I don't feel like it. I don't know. But so on the Rory and Mal podcast, they had something to say about Cardi and Stefon Diggs. Okay, and then, you know, their co-host Damaris, you know, of course, as a woman, she stuck up for Cardi because we need to stick together, honey. But I'm gonna play a little snippet of I'm gonna play a little snippet of the conversation and we can discuss.
Hold niggas accountable because it could be you very easily.
Are you holding Cardi accountable?
Holding Cardi accountable for what?
Nothing.
Oh, all right. The fuck?
I don't want to smoke.
Yeah, I know. I'm happy for my sis. Y'all see her? Look at her. She glowing.
I love shit like this.
Yo, I'm messy. Me too.
You know why I like shit like this?
Because they're competing with each other?
No. Because in 6 months when this is over, when
Offset and her will be together?
When Stefon is caught out with another, because you know he's a super whore.
I think he's dating other people openly. But this is the thing, though. Nobody said they didn't come out and say, they didn't come out and say they're in a relationship. I'm not saying
they are. I'm saying in 6 months when he's out with his new flame and him and Cardi is not even, they stop following each other. You know, all of that's going to happen. Stop following each other, all of that. I just love to hear the women that's like, I'm happy for my sis. Be happy when Cardi is on IG Live in 6 months and saying Stefon ain't shit. Be happy then too.
So what,
I think it's rollout shit.
I'm big Bronx shit. I'm happy for Cardi.
Cardi ain't never liked the Knicks.
She at the Knicks game. She's smiling.
This is PR. What are we talking about?
I'm just talking about the women that's on like, yes, Cardi, move on to a better nigga.
Okay.
See, I never said that.
I'm just saying, as women on the internet saying that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying those same women. Mm-hmm. I want to hear from them when this has run its course. Is all I'm saying.
But why does that? And I guess that was my issue.
Hear the consistency
because so many people. I put up a tweet about that and a TikTok about it, and so many people were just like, I'll never be happy for her. He just had a baby with somebody else. This, and that. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I don't know enough about that young man. Shout out to him. I just know he looked good, and him and Cardi look like they having a ball. That don't got to be Cardi next husband.
That's a fact. No, like, you said something.
Yeah, so that's a snippet from the Rory and Mal podcast, and their co-host Damaris is speaking facts. At one point you hear Rory say that it's PR because when if you're not even a fan of the Knicks, talking about Cardi. And so Cardi actually had some words. This is what she said. She said, no sympathy shit, because I live and learn, and I've been through worse in my life, but I went through so much shit in deceit. I don't tell my story and put these nasty bitches on blast because I seen God handle every woman and man that put tears in my eyes and pain in my heart in the worst way. When a white man like Rory talking about I need to be held accountable for shit he don't know, one thing about really makes me see red. This is not a competition. This is me taking baby steps to finally feeling happy and seeing my sky blue with birds and trees and again instead of rainy days. I feel lightweight, motivated, in love with life, in love with love, in love with my career, and most importantly, in love with my 3 kids no matter what. Shut the fuck up, you white bitch, before I light a match up under your ass.
Damn.
So, stay out of black people and colored people business. But no, listen, I think first of all, Cardi better. The next thing that she should have done is move on to an athlete, because ain't no way you divorce an Offset and going to another rapper. Excuse me, no. The next step is an athlete, just like Megan Thee Stallion. The next step wasn't that she's dating what's that man's name? She dating some man.
I don't know.
I'm about to say his name. I'm about to say his name, and I want to see if you know what the.
I probably know the athlete.
Okay, let me see.
But I don't know who they date.
Hold on.
This is your lane.
Hold on. His Megan Thee Stallion's boyfriend's name is Tory Craig.
Okay.
He's an NBA player.
Yeah. Okay.
Who he play for?
Don't he play? I think he played for Houston.
Let me see.
Do he play for Houston?
Let me see. Hold on. Let me see if you're right. Let me see if you're right.
It was a random ass team, I think.
He plays. Oh, he's 34. He plays for. The Celtics.
Okay.
He plays for the Celtics.
Okay.
But yes, so yeah, I mean that's the next thing. If she needs to like girl, that's the only next step you take is athlete or CEO stuff somewhere. Like you better not be going from rapper to rapper. Absolutely not. So that for one, that's what she's supposed to do. Secondly, like Damaris said, this is not her next husband. Like let her have her fun with another rich man. Let her have fun being a athlete girlfriend. A wag or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like let her have fun. It doesn't have to be like we all know he's a hoe. She probably know he a hoe. She don't care. Let her have her fucking fun. And honestly, like I feel like they're both using each other. Like I feel like Stefon is helping her move on from Offset and helping her see the light. Like she said, I'm in love with love again. I'm in love with this again. Like she bragged about how like my niggas make me feel this that like I guess they're together. Right. And I think at one point Stefon went on live and was like, oh I'm not single, whatever. So whatever, but so that they're low key claiming each other, whatever. And plus they popped out at the Knicks game, right. But like she's helping him. He's helping her move on from Offset. Like they were married for 7 years. She was going through it for a long fucking time, like for a long time. Fact. So it's just like let her live. I know that long. He's helping her move on from her estranged husband, and I feel like Stefon is popping out with Cardi B because she's fucking Cardi B. And that's the clout for him, in my opinion, because you mess around with all these other rappers, baby mothers. You end up pop out with so and so and them, but you pop out with Cardi B. You pop out with Cardi B. You know they said that he got somebody pregnant on the side. Somebody just had a baby by him or whatever the fuck. He ain't pop out with her. She's pretty too. The girl that his alleged baby mother, she's gorgeous, but he ain't popping out with her. He popping out with Cardi B. That's Cardi B. Period. So like listen, she ain't Cardi ain't dumb. He ain't dumb. Let her get her little. Let him knock her socks off or whatever the fuck in the meantime, and whatever. And if she does happen to go on live in 6 months and say that he ain't shit, we all know he wasn't shit. We told you he wasn't shit. Moving along, like whatever. You can get any nigga you want. You went from a notable rapper to a notable athlete, and you can do it again. After Stefon, you need to go to the CEO that owns fucking, I don't know, Toyotas or some shit. Ain't Rihanna, wasn't she dating the prince that owned Toyota, right? Or he was like the they owned the man that she was messing with overseas, the Arabian prince or whatever. Saudi, his family owned like Honda or some shit, right? Or they owned Toyota or some shit. They own a lot of shit. You gonna do that. After Stefon, you need to go and do that. You see where Eve at. And you see what Eve. Eve was just on stage with Usher, but she don't gotta be on stage. She wants to because she loves her craft, but she don't gotta be on stage. And she ain't been on stage because she don't gotta be on stage. For 20 years, she been good. She good. Yeah, she don't gotta be on nobody's stage. She wanna be on somebody's stage. That's it. She don't gotta be. She don't gotta do shit. EVE. She don't gotta do shit. Ain't gotta do nothing. So let that girl live, child. Anywho, that's it for me. That's it. That's it. That was a lot. It was a lot. That was a lot. That was a lot of information. Did I do good? But did I do good? Oh, you did good. I did good. Turn the curve was that was pretty. I was like, yeah. You do your thing. Yeah. You say you had a lot to get off. Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah. Like the DDG stuff, like I saw some clips of him, like, he was in interviews, and I guess at one point they flashed back to where Ruby Rose showed some bruises at one point when she was dating him. The people ignored that and tried to say, oh, his brother came out and was like, oh, Ruby's a mean bitch, she's the meanest girl ever. Like, okay, did he grab her up though? You know what I'm saying? Or like it was a clip that I saw. He did a lip service interview with Angela Yee. This was like a few years ago, and I guess they were talking about how Ruby Rose showed the bruises on her arm, and he didn't deny putting hands on her. I'm gonna play that clip real quick. I'm just play it because like y'all going online saying it's a lie, but we have all these concrete things. The same way Halle provided receipts to get the restraining order. There's receipts online that you're ignoring. So let's do this. Let's play it.
Accused of being abusive.
Where you see that at?
Now I said Ruby Rose like they said she had like bruises on her arm.
Yeah, nah, that wasn't nothing.
Okay, so that was
that's some shit that
Taken out of.
she got like hacked on Twitter or some shit like that, and then it turned into some like.
Okay.
Some, you know
I did see she was hacked.
Yeah. So.
Okay, what other things?
So you see, like I played that clip from the interview, but he never denied ever putting hands on a woman. He just like kind of like brushed it. His response was kind of brushing it. Like he never denied. A man that has never done that will say, "I have never put my hands on a woman." A man will do that, but he didn't do that. So, like again, people do things and they get dealt with in time. Like I believe in karma. I believe in like things happen in dark, come like so he's going through this thing. So hopefully, like I said, like the way hopefully both parties, him and Halle, find a way to find peace in co-parenting, and hopefully both of them, Halle and DDG, learn from their mistakes, learn from their actions, and move forward acting properly. Hopefully this situation helps both of them grow up. And that's how you're supposed to go about it when you're an adult, and when you're really genuine about this stuff. This is how you respond to this. Okay. Yes, and yeah, it was another interview where he basically he discussed his actions. So people are choosing not to be accurate with their reactions and shit. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, that's it for me. Oh, real quick, I could have said this at the beginning, but it's fine. My neighbors are weird. Officially saying it, they're weird. They're a little off.
You only got one neighbor, right?
I do, like on my floor. Yes. So it's. But so it's like you have to do a lot to really affect me this way because it's only us on the floor. So it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? So it's like, and I'm not even trying to judge anyone. So
what do you hear?
It's a couple, okay. And they seem a bit, I don't know, quirky maybe, or I don't know. I get like a weird vibe from them, right? I don't talk to them too much, but I get a weird vibe from them when we do encounter each other, right? Cool, right? That's right. So then.
50 Shades.
It was one day when like a bunch of like police cars were outside of my building. I had just pulled up. I think I came from the grocery store. I had pulled up at night. It was like 4 police trucks outside my building. I'm like, what in the world? So when I'm parked, I'm looking outside my car. I'm looking from the car, and I see the police officer. One of the police officers come up, gets out the truck, and goes inside my building. And I see him in my reflection. I'm seeing him go upstairs, and he's going upstairs to my floor. I'm like, is he going to my fucking floor? What the fuck? So then I'm like, okay. So then they did this. So then another police officer came, and he walked past my car, and I got out of the car, and I was like, hey, sir, what's going on? Is everything okay? Of course, he can't say like, oh no, it's fine. Yeah, we're just helping someone. Okay. So I'm going up. So now I'm going up to my floor. Up to my floor. Of course, right? By the time I get up to my floor, 2 other police trucks pull up.
That's a lot of police trucks.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
So I'm like, okay, so I'm ear hustling a little bit at my door. I'm at my door, like trying to get my keys out, taking a little bit extra time, taking my time, get my keys out. And so I hear a little bit like, so I guess the woman is explaining, like, I guess they had like a situation going on. I guess they had an altercation going on or whatever. And she's explaining like, oh yeah, he did this and he did that, and he called me a bitch and he did this, and it's, at some point, like, she's saying like he's on medication or whatever, right? Okay, I'm like, cool, okay, so maybe he's going through something. Maybe he has a situation that he's whatever, right? Cool, right? Whatever. So I get in my house. At one point, she's outside of her unit, talking to the cops, and they get to a point where they walk, and now they're standing in front of my door. The lady and the police officer is standing in front of my door, and she's talking to them. So now I hear like why are they standing in front of my damn door? Get the like, what the fuck? But like, yeah, so they were going through some shit, right? Whatever. But that's weird. It's like, why all these cops gotta come? It was a lot of cop cars. It was a lot. So I don't know if he had a manic episode or she feared for her life and I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. Whatever. Right? Cool. That was a couple months ago. JRob. The other day, I got a note on my door. And in the note, I think I posted on my story. I don't know if you saw it.
I didn't see. I don't think I seen it.
But basically, you know, it's the rule, you know, because we have like our apartment is like it's like an open thing. There's no like main door. It's like you walk. It's like an open situation where you can just walk in and it's like whatever, right?
Gotcha.
And so, you know, we're not allowed to like leave trash out front of our door. Like, you know, don't leave trash out front of your door. If they catch you, like, you know, it's a fine, whatever, right? So whatever. But I know, but I see that at nighttime they always leave. And this is I'm on my business because I don't really give a fuck, and because their door is all the way at the end of the hallway. I don't even see them all the time. Like, I don't even give a fuck, right? So I do notice when I come at home at night, I do know because they have a dog. They take the dog's wasting, the dog droppings, and they tie it up in a bag and they leave it out on their front door outside at night, right? And I'm like, that's kind of weird. Whatever, because the dumpsters, but just go out to the dumpster real quick, put it in the dump, but whatever. I go inside my house, and by the time I get behind my door, I forgot about it.
Yeah.
Okay, never, right? So I got a note on my door from them, right? It was a card saying, "Dear neighbor, you know, we received your note about our leaving trash outside of our door. I know that this saying, like, you know, I'm sorry, you know, we have to keep our community clean, you know." And so it looked like the wife wrote the note on the letter, right, on the card. They gave me like a cute little card. It was like a black lady on the front of it, cute, right? And it looked like the wife wrote. So one side it looked like the wife wrote the words, right? And then like, you know, my husband did it, and my husband now understands that, you know, he can't leave trash out front. And so on the other side of the card, it looked like her husband scribbled a message saying, "I'm sorry for leaving trash outside." It was weird. It was just weird. Like, it was really weird. Like, the husband wrote like his little note on the side so she helped him write the note for me. I don't know, right? Whatever. JRob, I never left a note on their door. I never complained about their trash, and I never left a note on their door. Right. I never did that. That was weird as fuck, right?
Definitely from the office.
No. So I called the lease, and when I saw, because it was so creepy to me, JRob. I never left him a note. Right. That's creepy. I never left you a note, and we're the only niggas on this floor. I never left you a note. That's weird as fuck. So I called the leasing office. I said, "Hey, was there like a trash complaint on my floor? You know, was there a trash complaint?" And the property manager actually answered the phone. Cause I know her name and her voice. And she's like, "Oh, no. If there was a complaint, we would send a letter. We would send a letter to you or to your neighbor. Right. We would do that. We would notify you by email and by letter or whatever." I say, "Okay, that's what I thought," because they gave me a card saying that I left them a note. And I'm like, "Did you guys leave them a note?" And they thought I did it, and they were like, No, our notes are official." And like, no. I said, "Right, so you didn't leave them a note?" And she was like, "No." I said, "Okay, thank you." Who left you a note, nigga? Who left y'all a note? That's weird as fuck. Because like now it's weird because like you think I'm doing things I'm not doing.
Right.
And then you giving me a card about your trash, and you still leave the dog shit out front of your door to this day. I don't care, but it's like, huh? Right. That's weird as fuck. I'm scared. Cause
nah, you better.
That's weird, right?
I'm about to move.
I'm not moving nowhere. I'm staying there until I get back to about my motherfucking house.
That's true.
But that's weird as fuck. I'm gonna tell the other neighbor that I know, because he always felt like he was weird too. But it's like, I'm not leaving y'all notes, and why are you leaving me a card?
Yeah, they obviously definitely think that I think he probably said oh, I don't know.
But no one said no. They did. No one. That called and they said no. We didn't leave nobody no note on your floor.
Yeah, I know.
So what the fuck you talking about?
I don't know. That's
weird as fuck.
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, that's it. I'm sorry. That's it. I'm like,
get some new neighbors. She needs some new neighbors.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, moving along. That was a good topic. That was a good Herb McCurb, huh? I don't have any music to call out. I do want to start listening to Sailor, the singer named Sailor. I think she's an Asian singer named Sailor. I see her on my timeline here and there, so I want to actually check her out one of these days. So I'm planning on doing that. So hopefully next episode I will talk more about her. Did you have any music that you want to discuss real quick, JRob?
What's what I just picked up? Nope. I don't have no music.
Okay, and then I also don't have any shows to talk about, but I see that there's a popular show called Forever on Netflix with a young black couple.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
I haven't watched it yet either, but people are raving about it, so I will watch that as well. So hopefully next episode I can talk about them as well too. So anything you want to discuss with TV and movies and stuff? No, we good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right then. So that's it for Heard the Podcast. Again, we're on all podcast streaming platforms. HER_D the podcast. We are on TikTok, Heard Pod, HERDPOD on TikTok. We are on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe on there. HER_D the podcast. Thank you again for listening. I appreciate all the love and support, and it's only up from here, y'all. JRob, any last words?
Thank you, niggers.
See you next episode. Bye.